Hi, I'm Ron Amos. Many of you have been watching the Tama Assist videos. You may have seen in an earlier video talking about tears and rips in net. Today I want to talk to you about what we call random tears in net. That means that there could be a tear on the left side of your bale on one bale, 10, 12 bales later there's a tear in the middle, maybe it moves over to the right. All day long you keep getting these tears. Most of that is caused by buildup of crop inside the rear gate of your baler. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little demonstration and show you what that is. First things we got to watch, there's also an adjustment here. This piece right here is called the crossbar, and then there's belt guides, individual belt guides between the belts that keep the belts tracking in order. All right, so what happens? All this crop builds up inside this gate here, okay, as you're baling. The hotter, the drier it is, the more chaff will come off your bale as you're turning it. So the key to reducing these random tears is learning that when this gate starts filling up with crop, you need to reduce your engine RPMs. Instead of baling at rated PTO speed, start throttling back with the tractor's throttle and increase your ground speed or maintain your ground speed by shifting up a gear. And that will reduce how many times you turn the bale to make it, and less chaff is going to come off of the bale, which will reduce the buildup in the gate and reduce tears in your net wrap. Okay, so here's a little sample. All this crop builds up inside the gate here. Can't really see it where I'm at, but the gap between the belts, gravity is trying to pull that crop out, the chewed up hay. So what happens is the belts are turning down this way, so this crop is inside here, it starts to fall out, and it gets pulled down into the baler like this. Okay, now my net is full width, it's coming down these guides just like this. When it gets to here, where that crop is wedged between the crossbar and the belt guides, there's no way the net can get in the bale. So it makes a split in your net, like going around a dam, and that's your tears in your net. So reducing the crop buildup in the gate is a big deal. Remember to throttle back and shift up. All right, now, as far as adjustments go, there's an air gap between these belt guides and the crossbar. So you can use a 5/32 drill bit. I happen to have a 5/32 welding rod here today. But to check that gap, just take your drill bit and you're going to place it down between the belt guide and the crossbar, all the way across. And this one is just a little bit tight. I can't really get my drill bit down in there, or my welding rod. So we're going to need to make an adjustment here. 5/32 you see on this rod here, that's the maximum gap we can give you to allow the crop to fall out, but not let these belts track underneath the belt guides. So I'm going to go grab an impact wrench and we'll make a little adjustment here. Be right back. Now, actually, before we swing this pan out, if your baler is equipped with B-wrap, you need to make sure and take this B-wrap bracket off your baler or the pan won't swing out. So this is a bracket that holds your B-wrap sensor on, okay? So we've got that removed. I'm going to go over to the other side here, grab the impact. I've already removed the bolt on the other side, so I'm going to take this one off. And let that pan swing out like that. One thing I like to check while I'm doing this, I've got this pan swung out. Check your net runners and the Netwrap pan. A lot of times the dirt and dust will build up on these. They get a rough area on them and they can cause tears in your net. So with a Scotch-Brite pad, just make sure that you knock off any of those rough areas on the pan. You see stuff flying, get that off of there, and then that'll reduce chances of tears on the net from the pan. All right, now we're getting ready to make the adjustments. So I'm going to take this nut loose on the inside here, and my gap was too narrow to start with, so I'm going to increase that gap between the crossbar and guides by adding these little shims. I think I need 2 or 3 in here on this one to get that 5/32. So we'll tighten that up, put the shims in, tighten the nut, and then we'll check this out. So got that on. Now I'm going to put this back up in place. Put the nut on here. I'm going to tighten this up with the impact. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm only going to add 1 shim to that side. As I tighten this up, you want to make sure that you don't have any belts pinched between the crossbar and the guide. Okay, so everything looks good there. So I can tighten this up. I'll walk over and tighten this other side. Fake. All right, anytime you've made adjustments to that crossbar, setting your gap to 5/32 of an inch, anytime we had to change it, we need to come back and check this belt washer guide to the baler frame right here. And we should be able to slide a credit card between the washer guide and the baler frame right down here. And you can see on this side, I can't do it. I've already done the other side, it's good. So how do I adjust that? I'm going to come here, loosen this bolt up, and either add shims or take shims out, whichever way I need to go. So I need to increase the air gap on this one. So I'm just going to take this bolt loose. And just remember, that's just a credit card thickness is all we need there. If it's too tight, like it was set right here, and this customer is running cover edge net in his baler, the cover edge net can't even get into the baler because the washer guide was actually touching the baler frame. So I got to set a clearance to allow that net to get in the baler. All right, that's tight enough. Now I'm going to check it with this credit card again, and it should slide right down in between. Now that we've made all the adjustments to the Netwrap pan and got everything back into specs, everything should be working good there. That's the maximum we can give you on gaps to allow the trash or the buildup in the gate to fall out, okay? But remember this, the key to reducing random tears in your net is to reduce that chaff inside the gate. When that it's really hot out, the crop's really dry, you're chewing it up, remember to throttle back with your engine RPM, shift up with your transmission to increase your ground speed or maintain ground speed, and you're going to turn the bale less times to make it. Less chaff's going to fall off the bale and build up in the gate. Less chaff means less chance of random tears in your net. Remember, everything we talked about and setting everything back to specs, all those dimensions are in your operator's manual. This is your best buddy. Okay, so follow the guides in here and things will work a lot better for you. Thanks for watching.